Hi everybody, Russ from My Hammers Level. Also, got my glass on. Hope you are safe and well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icons. You made it anytime we put new content on. As always, like to take our lovely channel sponsors and check them out in the description below. So it's another episode of Hammers in Hot Water. I'm gonna get the title of that right eventually. Hammers in Hot Water. It's my own effing title, but I still can't get it right. And we've been requested this one, this incident, this player, and so we're going to be doing a whole episode on Manny Omoyinmi, MannyGate. A lot of people probably won't remember it, but some people might remember it, some might not. So hopefully you enjoy it. So, looking back through our history, our recent history as West Ham fans, there are many highlights that really encapsulate what it's like to be a West Ham fan. The agony, the anguish, reaching defeat within the jaws of victory, etc., etc. One example really stands out, and that is what's affectionately known as MannyGate. Now, West Ham's cup history after the 1980 success was in essence a very similar story each year. And we've all seen us getting knocked out by Stockport County, for example. We would blame the poor pitch or a dodgy ref decision. But to be knocked out through an administrative error is a first, surely. So let me take you back. It was December 1999, the quarter-final of the Worthington Cup. That was the League Cup sponsor that year. It changed. It was Carling Cup. This year it was the Worthington Cup. And we were at home to Aston Villa. It was a very cold night. I remember that. Bloody cold. Just a week until Christmas. And this was an early Christmas present. We looked to be going out of the Cup when Holmes under the hammer presenter Dion Dublin, who was a footballer beforehand, scored in injury time. However, we went immediately down the pitch and won a penalty, with Mr. Di Canio converting the spot kick past Mr. James, soon to become a West Ham player. The game went into a penalty shootout, and we actually won the shootout. Ironically, Gareth Southgate once again missed the penalty, which cost them the shootout. We could smell the Twin Towers of Wembley. We were through to the semi-finals. Oh, the excitement. However, this feeling was to last us for little more than 48 hours. The reason for this fall to grace was a rather insignificant 113th minute substitution. Fringe first teamer Manny Omoyinmi came on the pitch as a tactical forward substitution. The lad had hardly touched the ball, and yet this decision by H would have catastrophic errors, which would eventually lead us to being chucked out of the quarterfinal. Would eventually lead us to losing a replayed quarterfinal and being dumped out of the cup altogether. Now, Manny was a very pacey player. He signed apprentice forms in 1994 and was part of the side which won the South East Counties League title in 95-96. He signed pro forms in 1996, and Harry sent him out to Bournemouth that year to gain some first-team experience. Manny made his Premier League debut against Leeds in March 1997. He scored a brace against Crystal Palace at the end of the 97-98 season, but never really established himself in H's plans. So he continued his development by going out on loan to Dundee, Leyton Orient and Gillingham. Manny was getting lots of games during his time at Gillingham, and including a start for the Gills against Bolton in a Worthington Cup second round match. He was even featured on the matchday programme cover for the home tie. He subsequently played the return leg 2 weeks later, and the Gills actually lost 6-1 on aggregate. So you can see a slight problem here. Manny had already played not once but twice in the Worthington Cup already that season, and now he was playing for a different team, i.e. West Ham, in the same competition. This revelation had only been discovered by the club, by the Football League, when they'd submitted the official team sheets. Arguably the most basic rule of club competition had been compromised. A player can only play for a single club in the season's competitions. When a player is loaned out, The T's and C's of his contract between the parent club and the loan club should say whether or not the player is allowed to appear in cup competitions. When the loanee returns to their parent club, the club's administrative staff, yes, say that easy enough, should check the T's and C's have been upheld. Sounds pretty simple, to be fair. If not, the staff, surely the player himself, would have known that was the case. And as you can see on the team sheet, in the substitutions, number 27 at the bottom, Manny Omoyinmi. And clearly the man himself didn't realise potentially that he had played in the cup competition. Harry said of this incident simply that none of us knew the kid had already played. It was an honest mistake. There was a letter to the Gills saying he could play, but I did not expect to see him back. We're not talking Paolo Di Canio, we're talking Manny Omoyinmi, who's never been near the first team. I don't even know why I put him on. But that made a massive, massive difference. The Football League quickly decided that we'd broken the rules and ordered the cup tie to be replayed. It was the right decision. We broke the rules unknowingly, and it was a fair decision by the Football League. A monetary fine would have been tough on Aston Villa, and to be expelled from the cup altogether for West Ham fans would have been awful for us, particularly as we had Wembley in our sights. Not only was the game replayed 2 days later after the Football League made their decision, not only was the game replayed, but 2 days after the Football League made the decision, the West Ham company secretary, Graham Mackerel, resigned. He'd only been in the post for a little over 6 months, and also the football secretary, Alison O'Dowd, also resigned her post. Mackerel mentioned he thought it was the right decision to make. We acted upon information which was given to me that the player was eligible to play. It wasn't correct, and as a result, I'm responsible, and I felt the only honourable thing to do was resign. In the replay, of course, we lost, and Villa proceeded into the semi-finals. In terms of Manny, he was very quickly loaned out to another Claret and Blue side, the Irons, Scunthorpe. Cobblers, no, it's true. No, it's Northampton, isn't it? Doesn't matter. They're called the Iron. There we go. He's got it in right in front of me, Russ. The then Scunthorpe manager Brian Laws recalled how he'd asked Harry about signing Manny previously, and he'd been turned down quickly. But I rang back and suggested that Manny join us would be the best thing for all concerned. It was a bit tongue-in-cheek, and I'd thought he'd bite my head off, i.e. Harry. But he agreed. And soon enough, Manny was off. He was off to Scunthorpe on loan. Manny never played again for West Ham. He moved to many clubs and moved to Oxford United at the end of the 1990-2000 season, where he subsequently, and then after he played another 12 clubs in all of his time, all of his career, and he retired eventually in 2006, having played, as I said, for 12 clubs in his career. And that's it. A curious tale with Manny. It just I remember the whole thing. It was you sort of. We were so excited we were playing. We were gonna, and because of the semi-finals as well. I think Leicester got through. I think we was gonna. It's a good chance we'd have won that cup potentially, and we were all dreaming of a Wembley trip. And then 48 hours later comes crashing down in the West Ham. It's going to West Ham. We know we're not going to win the replayed quarterfinals. And then Villa went on. I can't remember if they won it or not, or maybe Leicester won it that season. I don't know. But there wasn't a massive. The semi-finals teams weren't great. It was a couple of lower league. It was at least one more lower league team. Anyway, I'm sure you guys remember. I'm sure everyone's typing in the comments. It was actually Scunthorpe. Anyway, won't be Scunthorpe. Last thing. So hopefully you enjoyed it. As I said, I love doing these little investigative, going through and understanding things. If there's anyone you want to suggest, we've had lots of great suggestions we'll be getting through. Let me know in the comments below who you want me to try and put some stuff together and do for the next episode. Try it out. As always, take care, stay safe, wash those hands, get those jab appointments when you get your we can do it now if you're over 18 now. Anyone in the UK, you can book your jabs now. Come on, you eyes. Pardon me. And we'll see you very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Stay safe.